We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World and our Cruiserweight Champion.
I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
I'm Rob.
And this is episode 151 of Beyond the Ropes. We are BTR Pro Wrestling Talk. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at RealBTR Radio, as well as at EthanMV95. And you can follow James at
JHW Reporter.
And you can follow Rob at
Rob Flores Media. And don't forget the R-Truth DMs for Ethan.
Don't DM me. My DMs are closed. No one can slide in there. James tries all the time. Doesn't work. Facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes is where you can find us there. YouTube, just search up Beyond the Ropes and you'll find over 100, I think as of now, 150 episodes should be uploaded there. We had our big NWO 150th episode last week. Fun episode. Before we move on, I have to formally apologize to Roman Reigns. I mean, for last week. I don't think I acknowledged him properly on the show, and I didn't realize it until after it happened.
You are an embarrassment to all things Roman Reigns because of that.
I know it was part of your plan last week. You were doing everything to distract me from acknowledging him. So I'm going to do it right now. First and foremost, I have to acknowledge my tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. James, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so me and Ethan, I picked up Ethan and saw him for the first time in person the other day. And because of his missing his acknowledgement of his guy, Roman Reigns, he decides to wear his dang t-shirt all day at the Rose Bowl. And I'm like, whatever, that's cool. I guess, get in the car, whatever. I should have left him. I almost left him. I really almost left him, but whatever. I'm a good friend. What can I say?
Sir, one of us had to look good at the swap meet, okay? The flea market. So, come on now. Sir.
Anyway, it was hot. I wasn't trying to look cute. I was just trying to get by.
You know, it's you know, in order to look good, you have to, you know, suffer through some pain. You know, it's not easy, James. It doesn't happen over, you know, I just wake up and look so pretty, okay? So.
Can't relate.
Oh, okay. All right, you did get a haircut. There you go. We'll acknowledge James' haircut there.
Yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get.
Uh-huh. And as dogs are barking across the street.
I think, are they acknowledging Roman Reigns from afar? I think that's what that is.
Well, they're acknowledging the big dog. You know, it's
I see what you did there. Okay.
So, speaking of Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, obviously the Jimmy Uso situation last week where he had the DOI. We talked about it. It's just his third or fourth DOI.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was on SmackDown, and the family is reunited.
So like nothing happened, right?
Business as usual. I think they did acknowledge it a little bit, kind of not mentioning it happened, but they're going through some things. They mentioned it. But happy to say the bloodline is at peace. Of course, this past weekend, Money in the Bank happened. Fans are back in WWE. And we're going to talk about that next episode, of course. We'll get more into details then and there. If you want to see our predictions, they're already up. They're up there. Before
I got all of them right.
Did you?
I mean, we haven't like looked all the way through at them, but I'm pretty sure.
We'll see. We'll see if you did.
Just listen again next week, and I promise you, I got them all right.
We'll see. Well, I don't know if that's true. You'll have to tune in to.
I'm telling you it's true. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I don't know about that. But anyways, moving on to something a little more serious, a little unfortunate. We got some unfortunate news this past week. Last Monday on the the 12th. Mr. Wonderful, WWE Hall of Famer Paul Orndorff passed away at the age of 71. Of course, Paul Orndorff was one of the 4 individuals in the main event of the first WrestleMania, teaming alongside Roddy Piper, facing Mr. T and Hulk Hogan in that iconic tag team match. He was a North American champion at one point, a WCW television champion in the 90s, and a WCW tag team champion as well, before going into the Hall of Fame in 2005, which is a very stacked Hall of Fame. I think it was the same year Hogan and Piper went in as well. So quite a stacked, I guess, to honor the main eventers for the first Mania there.
And I think
Hollywood, by the way. Yeah.
Who was the referee in that match? Wasn't it someone who passed away recently too? I think. Was it Snuka or no? It wasn't Snuka. It was somebody.
He was on the side.
He was like on the side, or because I remember
it was Muhammad Ali was the enforcer, wasn't he?
Okay, maybe that's what it was. I was thinking there was someone else in that match that passed away. I know I was not Mr. T or Hogan, but I knew there had been someone else. Obviously, Piper died a couple years ago. So, unfortunate news. I did see that on Twitter when it happened. You already mentioned Hogan and Piper. I think he might have had a feud a time or two with Vader. But yeah, I think he might have been on Legend. Was he on Legend's House? Probably not, right? But I had seen him pop up in a few things. I forget, maybe he did some shoot interviews, but I remember him seeing him obviously when you're as jacked as a Mr. Wonderful was back in the day. You don't carry that same muscle, obviously, in later years. So he looked a little bit different, but yeah, I don't think I didn't hear a cause of death or anything. Did you hear anything about that at all, Ethan?
So yeah, I haven't heard anything. I'm looking for this because there was the GoFundMe, as James, Rob was mentioning, of his son.
Yeah, and at first it kind of surprised me when I saw Rob mention that, but now that I think about it, it makes a little bit of sense. Obviously, the wrestlers from that time period and that generation weren't making the money that they are now. So not that I think Mr. Wonderful was spending his money like crazy or anything, but I just think for that time period the money wasn't moving as fast on the paychecks like it is today. So yeah, a GoFundMe was set up. What do you have?
So the Instagram handle is Travis_Orndorff. He is, I believe, the son of Mr. Wonderful. There was a goal of $18,000 as of this recording, $18,000. They've currently raised $12,544. So if you want to donate, there you go.
Is there any detail on there? I know GoFundMe's usually have something kind of written up.
So this is the wife of Travis.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Amayu. My husband is Travis Orndorff. As some of you may know, we are preparing for Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff's final farewell. Travis wants to give everyone, including fans, the opportunity to donate to Paul's final expenses. All donations and love gifts are appreciated. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking through some of the lists here. I'm not seeing any, wrestlers or anything, but there's a few. I'm seeing an Elaine Orton. I don't know if that's any relation to Randy Orton, potentially. Obviously, Bob Orton obviously was involved in that WrestleMania main event.
That's right.
In their corner specifics, so maybe they did. So I don't know, but the most recent post from Travis was he wanted everyone to know that we have donated my father's brain for analysis. So obviously he went through 25, 30-year career probably, from the 70s to the 90s of wrestling. So does a number of things to the brain for sure. So
yeah, back then they played a little bit faster and looser with the steel chairs and whatnot.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, his most recent post, Travis's post, of course, just mentioning his father and the memories he had with them and everything. So, as recent as July 3rd, uh, which may have been the last post with his of his father, saying, "Hey, what did you do with this? What did you do this weekend?" He said, "Had a beer with my dad," and he has a picture of him drinking a beer. So, but at least till the very end, he seems to be enjoying life. Don't know the exact situation, but I'm sure we'll see what went on there. So, um, yeah, I think there were funeral services on July 16th. So, I think there was a viewing for fans as well. So, um, our thoughts go out to Paul's family. I mean, it's a shame. A lot of been losing a lot of legends over the last few years, especially from the 70s and 80s. So it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy to think about. Maybe I'd have to put the ages together, but I mean, when you look at some of the guys like Hogan, who's still kind of front and center, on camera sometimes, and you think about his generation, a lot of those guys around it that were around Hogan at the time, not saying it was Hogan's fault or whatever, but a lot of those guys around Hogan are starting to pass away. So yeah, I mean, who knows what happens when the time comes for Hogan and everybody else, but
Hogan tweeted this out. Just got slammed with the Paul Orndorff news. Rest in peace, my brother. Love you and thank you for always making me fight for everything in our matches. Heaven just got even more wonderful. So
sounds like it sounds like Wonderful was maybe a little stiff with Hogan.
He was a true heel. He was a heel there.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash also posted something about Mr. Wonderful. If I'm not mistaken, maybe not. Thought he did. It might have been like on Facebook or Instagram. I believe CM Punk for sure did, which is always nice to hear from Punk talking about wrestling.
You know what I was going to not to change the subject, but a few things there. You mentioned some other names. Again, just kind of wrap up the segment on Paul there. Thoughts and prayers to his family. But jumping along a little bit. Sorry about that, Ethan. I forgot to mention to you the other day that CM Punk was actually doing commentary on Twitch for that big whatever the short Conor McGregor UFC fight the other day. So that was kind of interesting to kind of see CM Punk on that. And I think I heard something too about, I think one of his wins got, like one of his losses got like isn't counting against him anymore. I don't know if one of his something like no contest, something like that happened. Anyways, good to see CM Punk still doing something in the industry more or less. Who knows if we'll ever see him back in the ring. Another guy you mentioned, Kevin Nash. We talked about Kevin Nash a little bit during that NWO episode last week. Ethan, he made some more news. Well, maybe he didn't, but there was some news surrounding the name this week as well.
Yeah. The documentaries weren't even uploaded, I think.
Did they even air? Like they never even made it, right?
It was
because I remember we talked about it. We played the little game. They had the promotion. I got the idea from the promotion, right?
It was NWO week. They were going to close it out with the Kevin Nash Broken Skull Sessions interview, and they basically either if they did upload it, they immediately took it down that same day. I do know all the social media posts and YouTube clips were taken down. So there's been no acknowledgement of that. A few weeks ago, I believe the same thing happened with the WWE Icons show featuring Lex Luger. That was apparently taken down. While there is currently no news about it, some speculation perhaps that they're saving those kind of specials for like after the pay-per-views. Typically, that's what they would do. Just so they can get some more viewership, just because I don't think they were getting a whole lot of viewership for them. So it could be that, but there's also speculation that a lot of the specials that were being done by the digital team I mean, they're restructuring a lot of things. Obviously, we've heard over the last number of months with merging of departments, and I believe Kevin Dunn is now in charge of the overall WWE media, as they're calling it. But basically, it's under new leadership or whatever, so they could be moving things around. So it could have to do with that. So I've heard a couple different things, but nothing's set in stone yet. I would imagine I mean, it's there. They would have to release it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have been doing those after pay-per-views and whatnot. So maybe a little random. I mean, but again, it's NWO week. I mean, I don't know why you're not pushing that. You know, I mean, it's the NWO week. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looked like, I don't know, it sounded like maybe you're looking through Kevin Nash's feed. I don't think he said anything. I mean, he is he's pretty outspoken, I think maybe even about politics and stuff, but I don't think he said anything recently that would have gotten him canceled, I guess you can say. But, you know, or even with the Luger thing, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Icon thing, I mean, you mentioned the digital team. I don't know how much of that with the Icon series is involved in that, and why they would probably take one down and maybe not the whole series, for example. And I mean, for me, it's kind of like if there was something Kevin Nash said in it or whatever the case may have been, I mean, they could have edited it out. I mean, you know, like Rob said in the chat, maybe it's part of the Peacock agreement, but I don't know what that would totally matter. I mean, they would want any kind of content, especially if Stone Cold's on it. I don't know. I haven't seen anything from Stone Cold either. I mean, I haven't really gone looking on its feed for it, but just kind of interesting that you would remove something like that. Obviously, Triple H and Kevin Nash are best friends, more or less. So, I don't know what the deal is there exactly. But Ethan, we're running up on a commercial here in a little bit, about a minute or so. Is there anything we should be looking forward to for after the break?
No, there's nothing.
Absolutely. All right, then.
Nothing. We'll just end the show here. I mean, honestly.
No, wait.
We
gotta. This is what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the ESPYs and who won, like, best WWE moment or whatever. I have something.
You mean the robbery, the highway robbery that occurred at the ESPYs?
And that's your opinion, sir. And then we'll also talk about what I think is going on with AJ Styles. Or actually, I want to know what's going on with AJ Styles, because what I saw wasn't to my liking. And also, I'm convinced we're going to get a return. I think Ethan mentioned this about a week or so ago, too. So we'll talk about that after the break, right, Ethan?
We'll be right back, right here on Beyond the Ropes. We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Of course, we are doing this safely at home. Welcome back to episode 151 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm your host, Ethan Jordan, alongside the analyst, James Williams, and producer, Rob Flores. You can find me on Twitter at EthanMB95. You can follow James on Twitter at
JHW Reporter.
And you can follow Rob on Twitter at
Rob Flores Media. And don't forget the R2 TMs for Ethan.
And you can follow the entire show on Twitter at RealBTR Radio. Of course, we'll have some Money in the Bank stuff there. So, I mean, if you watch Money in the Bank this past weekend, go back and enjoy our Twitter feed. I'm sure someone will be tweeting live.
Yeah, I'll be tweeting live, probably.
You should, because I don't think I'll be available. Or I was.
I'll be around.
You know, so we'll see. Before we go any further, I have to acknowledge Roman Reigns once again as the head of the table. It is 7:26 p.m. in beautiful Long Beach, California right now. James, have you acknowledged your tribal chief?
No, I haven't. And you tweeted me about it. You told me to acknowledge him then. And you know what I did? I didn't do it. I ignored it.
I ignored the tweet. Sir. I don't appreciate you ignoring
I was on my phone. Like this. Do. I see your notification come down. And I just watched it. And I watched it disappear.
You're going to do me like that, okay?
Yep. That's how I feel about Roman Reigns.
That comes from WWE's Twitter account, official Twitter account, all right?
Yeah. I don't care.
They know. How dare you ignore WWE's official Twitter account? I must say, before dinner time.
They don't follow me.
Before dinner time, we will wait 5 minutes in case Roman Reigns wants to join us. You understand? The big piece of chicken is officially reserved for Roman Reigns. Passenger seat officially reserved for Roman Reigns.
Do you want to?
First set at the gym officially reserved for Roman Reigns.
Does he get the
control?
Does he get the last biscuit in the? Does he get the last biscuit in the basket if he wants it?
If he wants it. Control of the car radio during all car rides officially reserved for Roman Reigns.
Does he get the aux cord?
Yes, he gets the aux cord. He gets whatever cord he wants.
What do you think? What do you think he would play on?
What
do you think's on his playlist?
His theme song is just playing all in a loop.
Okay,
it's gonna be the Roman theme song.
You know what? Remind me. And after this, I'm gonna tweet him and I'm gonna ask him if he had the aux cord. What song is he playing? And if he does tweet back, I will come back next week and acknowledge him. If he doesn't, then
James, he's not gonna acknowledge your tweet. Come on now.
Why would he not?
He's a busy person.
He's verified. I'm verified. We're homies. We're practically homies. We run in the same circles.
They give those little check marks out to anyone these days.
There's a lot of people. No, hold on now. There's a lot of people going around asking for him, wondering why they don't got their check mark. Cool kids only. That's my little hill rant.
Okay. First set of taxes deducted from my paychecks officially reserved for Roman Reigns. Remote control when the workday is over officially reserved for Roman Reigns. The cooler side of the pillow officially reserved for Roman Reigns.
Okay.
The middle of an Auntie Anne's pretzel. Personally, I prefer Wetzel's pretzels, but that'll work. Officially reserved for Roman Reigns. My Netflix password officially reserved for Roman Reigns.
Does he get the first? Does he get the first chance to pick the cookie he wants off the cookie sheet when it comes out of the oven?
Oh, absolutely. He gets them all if he wants.
Okay.
My car wash monthly subscription officially reserved for Roman Reigns. No one, he doesn't need to clean his own car. Come on now.
Wait. If he asked you, would you clean his car?
Oh, I would acknowledge him and say, yes, sir. Come on now.
Okay. All right. If not, he's gonna Superman punch you.
I get that privilege of washing his car. I get to put that in my resume saying I washed the tribal chief's vehicle.
I'm telling you, I'm so disappointed that I didn't get to go to the ESPYs this year because, again, it was in New York and it wasn't in LA. The last couple of years it was in LA. Pre-pandemic, I've been at the red carpet and at the ESPYs. Like I've mentioned before, I've talked to Roman Reigns briefly, but I've talked to him on the red carpet. And I was totally looking forward to a chance to ideally talk to him again so I can get my good buddy Ethan on the phone to FaceTime with the man so I'd stop having to hear about it all the damn time every week. But until then, we'll just suffer through it.
Yeah.
So we can finally talk to the man.
Talk about what happened at the ESPYs. Huh? What happened at the ESPYs? There was a highway robbery, right?
Well, the big thing everyone wants to know about, at least in regards to what happened on this show, is who won best ESPY or best WWE moment at the ESPYs. I think Roman Reigns had a few things on there, or at least one thing. Bianca Belair obviously had the odds in her favor. She had 2 nominations on there. I'm trying to think who else had any.
Edge.
Didn't really matter because it was what?
Edge had a return. I think the return of the Royal Rumble.
Edge's return was on there. Yes, that is true. But I think we all knew at the end of the day what was going to happen. And that was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair winning the ESPY for best WWE moment. And both were there in attendance for the event. And both all smiles for the event as well, as if they didn't just beat each other down and whip each other with the ponytail a couple months ago. Anyways, what you don't you agree, you disagree, you don't like that, or what's the deal? You don't Bianca Belair's like carrying WWE right now.
The quote unquote first main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. The main event was Roman Reigns, of course, Edge, and Daniel Bryan.
No.
Because that
There's
closed
a
out
reason they put the best ones on first. Why do you? No, they.
the main event goes on last, sir.
No.
But yes, I mean, I guess congratulations for them. I guess it was a big moment. Okay, sure. I mean, we'll give out awards. Roman must have been busy that day.
Well, it's my understanding that Roman Reigns was not in attendance this year. Maybe he was just being a sore loser because he knew in advance he wasn't going to win, and he had no chance. And you know what? Because of
SP's on Friday.
Where the SP's on Friday? I don't think.
What day were they?
I think it was on a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
right.
Your excuse not going to work. Anyways, so
Roman could have been busy.
He could have been busy, or it's not like he's having matches. All he's doing is sitting there hugging the Usos. Anyways, enough about Roman Reigns.
He's busy reuniting the family. Yeah.
Yeah, because his family's out of line. Bianca doesn't have those kind of problems. Anyways, speaking of Sasha, what?
I think you and I were going two completely different directions. Only here on Beyond the Ropes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, talk about Sasha.
Well, I don't know. Anyways, like I was saying, Bianca is, obviously doing her thing, still competing and doing, like I said, doing her thing, defending her title. But again, after a WrestleMania loss, Sasha Banks nowhere to be found. Ethan, I'm not going to sit here and say that this was my idea or this is my opinion. I'm bringing up something that you mentioned, I believe, maybe not last week, but the week before. I think we get a Sasha Banks return sometime soon. But I mean, I don't think she's going to be all pouty like she was when she lost the last time at WrestleMania. I think we see her back soon. If not by the time, post Money in the Bank or whatever the case is going to be with the fans back. Now that the fans are back, I think we'll see someone like a Sasha Banks return. I think she would get a big pop as well. I'm also not sure what the Mandalorian schedule is. I know she's a part of that show. Maybe that is maybe impacting some time away for her and what they're doing. Obviously, the Mandalorian seems to be a big hit with the kids and whatnot. So yeah, maybe
nominated for an Emmy.
She was nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah. So,
she was, or the show was?
She was, I think, as a guest, if I'm not mistaken.
I guess.
Could be wrong. Double check on that, but
he's just making stuff up. That might be true. I might be true.
So
if so, good for her. I I think that's cool, and I think it's awesome that she's doing other things while still in the middle, of her career and in her prime. Go ahead. Did you have something?
Yeah, but, personally, I thought she was missing work just because she was being lazy. But
you thought she was being lazy?
Yeah, because I mean, she's no Bailey. And because Bailey shows up.
Did we mention Bailey last week?
24/7, 7 days a week. No, because this happened after.
Yeah.
Bailey unfortunately suffered an injury.
On Friday. I think it was announced on Friday, right? Or Thursday?
It was announced Friday morning that she suffered a knee injury, taking her out for 9 months. It's potential ACL tear. No one really knows. They just said 9 months. She was wearing a knee brace on SmackDown, kind of getting to say what happened. Basically, she was carrying WWE on her back, which is very true. She was definitely one of the MVPs of the pandemic era. So
yeah, no doubt about it. And again, I wonder how much of that, say what you will, I'm no doctor or whatever, but when you have a long run and you're running that hard and like you're saying, you're carrying a lot of people on your back like that, you're gonna tear an ACL or something. But no, best wishes to Bailey. Obviously, was doing great things since turning heel. Not that she wasn't prior to that, but she had a good run over the last year or so. I'm not sure this is the break or time off that she wanted, but we'll see what happens with her when she comes back. It'll be refreshing when she does come back. But at the same time, I wouldn't totally be surprised if they find a role for her to do, especially because she is a workhorse. She probably likes being in that environment, being around the guys and girls in the WWE. I wouldn't totally be shocked if she finds a spot somewhere, maybe on a commentary or a pre or post show of some sort. You know, I think we see her on the bump or something. She'll make appearances on the bump or something. She'll be around. I don't think we've seen the last of Bayley as she starts her rehab and whatnot. I did have something else. We talked about people who are, you know, in the spotlight and doing their thing, and getting on the silver screen. I was on Twitter yesterday and I stumbled upon this Twitter ad, and I'm like, that looks like Mojo Rawley, but it says nothing about Mojo Rawley in this tweet. The tweet was for this new G.I. Joe movie, I guess that's coming out, or anyways, it's like in the G.I. Joe universe. I don't know, but it's called Snake Eyes, apparently.
It's an origin story for Snake Eyes.
Huh? What?
It's an origin
story. That's what they call origin story. Yes. So anyways, I watched this video and it is Mojo, and he's saying get hype, which we all know was his gimmick in WWE. Obviously, he just got released not too long ago, but he was on there saying, check out his new movie, Snake Eyes, yada yada yada. Plays the trailer, shows up briefly for a brief second, and then wasn't shown the rest of like the 15-second trailer. At least good to see Mojo's doing something. I didn't know he was going to be diving into movies, but you know, if this is his first kind of swing at the silver screen, then good for him. You know, nice to see him kind of doing something, getting back on his feet. I also saw Buddy Murphy, who was also released by WWE not too long ago, is going to be having his first match soon. Didn't look like he had any sort of new name yet, but it was still the poster I saw said formerly known as Buddy Murphy. He's going to be going one-on-one with Brian Cage sometime in the near future. I don't think that's an AEW thing. I think that's just some independent, but we'll be seeing that as the first match for Buddy Murphy here pretty soon. Any other spotlight things? No, but we have a couple minutes left in this second segment, so I'm just gonna ramble on some more with some news and stuff. No, actually, as we're speaking, what?
To cut you off really quick, I keep seeing Sasha is nominated for an Emmy. I don't see her name on any of the categories. But it could just be just because the show got nominated or something, but people keep saying she's nominated, so
yeah, maybe the show. I mean, if people are talking about it, there has to be some sort of hype around it. I wouldn't, you know, I haven't heard of like a guest star Emmy, but I'm sure anything.
There are category guest stars.
There is a cat. Okay. So just some other quick news real quick, just before we kind of wrap up and get to a break here. We had a Christian and Matt Hardy match this past week on AEW. Was only the third time. I think I saw a tweet from one of the wrestling reporters. Sorry, I think it was it might have been Sean Ross Sapp, or I believe that's his name. Christian and Matt Hardy in the ring one-on-one for only the third time in their career, or at least on TV anyways. And it was the first time they've been in a match one-on-one on TV since 2003. Again, we're in 2021 and we're getting Matt Hardy and Christian in a match. You can see that one of two ways, but you know, it's kind of neat to see them still going at it and doing their thing in 2021. Also, speaking of Matt Hardy just added a fourth member to the family. Rebby and Matt Hardy welcome their fourth child. What didn't catch the gender, just saw the news briefly that there was a fourth baby in the Hardy family. Go ahead, Ethan.
It's a girl, their first girl.
Okay.
I don't know the exact name, but I believe there was a photo that said potentially Eevee, but that could be wrong. I know that she's really into Pokemon.
Who's really into Pokemon?
Rebby, she plays Pokemon and stuff.
Oh,
and
I didn't know.
It's boys as well. But going back to Matt Hardy and Christian, little fun fact for both of them. They were both retired from WWE by Randy Orton.
Of course
And
they
then
were.
they were scared. They were scared to be near Roman Reigns. He came back. They both fled the scene. They ran away like the cowards they are. So there you go. But congratulations to Matt Hardy for being a father once again.
And what we have a minute left. One more other thing that I think. Well, I'd have to see how this works out. But July 15th will have already passed. But on July 15th, anyways, we're past July 15th. So go to the App Store right now and go check out what is supposed to be a new AEW General Manager mobile game. I know I'm checking that out as soon as we get off the air here. I'm going to start looking into that a little bit. I said an AEW GM mobile game. Yes. And there's like some wrestling mobile game out there that I tried that was like a GM mode. That was kind of interesting, but I didn't get too deep into it. But this AEW game might be interesting. Obviously, they're coming out with another game here soon that will probably be on Xbox, PlayStation, and maybe PC. But I'm interested to check out the GM mode. It kind of reminds me of the Raw and SmackDown, obviously, the series we have been talking about. But let's get to the commercial break. During this break, go check out that game and let me know what you think.
We are 22 West Radio. 22 West Radio is 22westmedia.com and 80.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 151 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, producer, Rob Flores, and you can follow all of us collectively on Twitter at RealBTR Radio, Facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes. You can find me on Twitter individually at EthanM85, where I tweet and acknowledge my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Look at that. James doing his best Undertaker impression.
I tried. Was it good?
Roman Reigns defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Only second man to do so in history. The first was Brock Lesnar before he got that nice little haircut he got there. Fun little fact there. You can follow James on Twitter at
JHW Reporter.
For sure, and he apparently ignores tweets, so don't tweet at him. You can follow Rob at
Rob Flores Media, and don't forget the R-Truth DMs for Ethan.
Oh, Rob, but Ethan's gonna be doing any better. Like he's gonna respond and read those. But I'm the bad guy.
Rob isn't even on Twitter. I mean, he doesn't go on Twitter.
He doesn't go on Twitter,
too, and he no shows. But James, you'll see James there once in a while, and maybe he'll tweet at you or something if he feels like it, because he's verified and all that. So
yeah, if you got something good to say, have something good to say. I don't want to acknowledge Roman Reigns at 1 p.m. when I just get back from the gym. Getting my guns going, my however many inch pythons.
Are you taking your vitamins?
Yeah. No. Yeah, not really. I should though. Some gummies.
All right. You know someone who takes their vitamins, James?
Mojo.
No. Say it with me, James. L.A. Knight.
No.
You have turned faster than anyone, I think, in history of anything.
You don't. Is he a Virgil or not? Is Cameron Grimes a Virgil?
No, he's a terrible butler. He had a kid mowing the lawn. He paid the kid to mow the lawn when he should have been doing it. He accidentally dumped LA Knight into the pool last week on NXT. It was tragic.
How do you accidentally dump LA Knight into a pool? And that just shows you how clumsy LA Knight is if he's just falling in the pool.
No, he did not fall in the pool. He was pushed accidentally.
Yeah. Tell him to be a little easier on the feet next time. LA Knight. What a bum.
It's a multi-mega star.
A bum.
No, you're talking about Cameron Grimes.
No.
And Cesaro.
Damn, what Cesaro do?
And Bianca Belair.
Now you've just gone too far. You know someone who you think is a bum but isn't a bum? And I know where I'm already gonna get off topic, but just want to mention it.
The newest tradee to NXT.
That's not where I was going, but go ahead.
I don't know who you're going, but
I was mentioning John Cena.
So going down Bum. How much money has he made on the box office, James? Don't you have numbers?
No.
Talk about John Cena and the box office. Talk about family.
That's not on my notes.
Vin Diesel and family.
Oh, I don't. Wait. Oh, John Cena was in that movie? I forgot he was in that movie.
You forgot he was in Fast. Oh my goodness.
That he wasn't being like heavily featured. I mean, did you watch it?
No, but
is he featured in the movie? I mean, I think I kind of now remember. Yeah, maybe he was supposed to be in the movie, but all I see is Vin Diesel memes. I don't, Right. Anyways.
Talk about
John Cena's supposed to be going to SummerSlam. Yada yada yada. Stay tuned for more on that.
We were supposed to go to SummerSlam, but James, he had other plans apparently.
Oh, I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah, he's going to Vegas. He is going to Vegas. He's going just a week earlier.
Yeah, the week before.
A few days earlier. Not even a week.
Are tickets still available?
I think so. I keep seeing ads.
I don't know. I don't think I can get away with it. Never mind.
Yeah, I figured. So anyways, James and I have heat now. So it's all right.
There's a whole bunch of heat in California. I ain't worried about it.
Pretty hot.
You'll get over it.
We'll see. Speaking of,
when are you gonna acknowledge Cameron Grimes for once, huh?
I'm not talking about Cameron Grimes. We already talked about him. He's done. He's a bum. Let's talk about a superstar. Let's talk about Mandy Rose showing up on NXT television. She's officially a member of the NXT roster. Here, this comes from Wrestling Inc. Don't cut me off, sir. Thank you. On Tuesday's episode of NXT, Mandy Rose made her return as she appeared on stage to watch the singles match between Saray and Gigi Dolan, which resulted in Saray going over. Rose did a brief backstage segment with the Robert Stone brand, and then later in the show, Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea lost to Katie Carter and Casey Catanzaro. Post-match, Aaliyah snapped and blamed their troubles on Robert Stone, so she attacked him. Frankie Monet, of course, John Morrison's wife, who had some interactions with the group in the past, came out and got Kamea and Stone to leave with her. WWE then had a segment with Monet, Kamea, and Stone where they were asked if they would be seeing Aaliyah with the group moving forward. Monet noted that the Robert Stone brand would no longer have to worry about Aaliyah. Rose appeared once again, and it looks like the Robert Stone, where she said, it looks like the Robert Stone brand is under new management. So, PW Insider reported that Rose is no longer on the active Raw roster and is in NXT going forward. WrestleVulture also reported that there was seemingly a trade between NXT and Raw that saw Rose go back to NXT, and Aaliyah is now on the main roster. Thus, it appears the attack by Aaliyah on Stone was a way to write her off NXT television. The report stated, "Well, I'm not sure why. Sources say it seems like a trade went down between the rosters." I believe it was also like a Sean Ross Sapp thing from Fightful Select, I think, or something, where basically I think he said where a number of higher ups went to the Performance Center, last week as rumored, scouted some talent, and apparently they liked Aaliyah's work. She has been there probably the longest of anyone. She's been there for like 7 or 8 years, it feels like. Basically the entire run of NXT. So it's about time she gets moved up. Congratulations to her. Seemingly, Mandy Rose has been brought to NXT for some reason. I'm interested. It seems like this potentially is going to be a Robert Stone brand / Frankie Monet type situation faction. I'm all in for it. It is weird because she was in a tag team with Dana Brooke and they were kind of in a feud. They were kind of in the feud with Natalia and Tamina.
Right.
That seems to be done with. I mean, they didn't even get a match, so I don't know what's
That's
going
what
on.
that's what I was confused about. And I'm like, Mandy Rose, wasn't Mandy Rose in a thing? But every time I was looking at Raw when I was going to eat dinner, and I would see Raw like that, they were always showing them, always seeing the tweets. And now she poof gone mid storyline.
Poof, just gone like that.
So I think the thing with Mandy Rose, oh no, that was Liv Morgan. So Mandy Rose got traded?
Mandy Rose is on NXT.
Not Liv Morgan?
Liv Morgan's on no, she's on SmackDown.
Because I could have seen if it was Liv Morgan, because I saw some stuff her on Twitter where she was working and bumping around, you know, and all that. I thought maybe this was a new fresh start for her, but I don't know where they're going with
I mean, if it's for the Robert Stone brand, I think I see it making sense. I mean, you have Frankie Monet, Jesse Kamea, and if Mandy Rose is involved in that group as well. They have similar traits, I think, in terms of character-wise. I can totally see them, aligning with each other. Kind of makes sense. Don't know what they're going to do with the... She's going to be solo or what. I mean, she's moving up to Raw, it seems like, but I don't know what is for her to do. There definitely needs to be a shakeup.
Yeah.
Or some type of brand, some draft, as we keep hearing. Because I don't know where she falls into place on Monday Night Raw right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too. It's like, I kind of would have thought if that's where they were headed, and why would they have a trade now? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Also, then you have, where do they go with that tag? That tag thing.
Poof. Just same thing with Alistair. Alistair and Big E. Poof. Never happened.
Yeah, but who's, is there even another female tag team?
No.
Well, what are we doing?
There was some breaking news. We forgot to mention this happened on SmackDown.
Okay.
Shotzi and Nox are on SmackDown now. Shotzi no longer has the last name. She's just Shotzi, not Shotzi Blackheart. I know Rob got a little emoji up there, shocked emoji. But yeah, Shotzi and I believe Tegan Nox, who just returned, costing the NXT Tag Team title match. She got shipped over to SmackDown with another tag team.
They're a tag team?
Yeah, they're a tag team. Ember got left behind.
Ember Moon?
No, she's staying in NXT. They acknowledged it this past NXT.
Wait. Because Ember was on NXT with Shotzi.
They were a tag team. They were tag team champions.
I thought they were on Raw or something for a second.
Ember, obviously. I mean, she had a run, if you can say that, on main roster before she got hurt for a year with her Achilles injury before showing back up on NXT. It seems like she'll be staying in the NXT brand for at least a little while longer. But yeah, they moved Shotzi up along with, I don't know if it's Tegan Nox or if they just call her Nox now because they kind of mentioned Nox.
Is that what they did?
It's Shotzi and Nox. So
it sounds like a Law and Order spinoff.
They did defeat the tag team champions on their first night.
I guess. I think maybe they're just kind of restocking the roster maybe a little bit. When you consider some of the people who were released, like Alana, the Iconics and whatnot, maybe you're just kind of filling in some of those spots again. What all were they doing before? I mean, I don't know.
Absolutely. Someone else that's actually going to show up on SmackDown, Toni Storm. They had a video package for her.
I remember seeing that.
We thought that she was going to potentially have a match with Saray, who was obviously the newest kind of Japanese wrestler to come in. And they kind of teased that they were going to have a match. Well, seems like that was dropped, and looks like Toni Storm is showing up on SmackDown as well. Congrats to her. Honestly, she was kind of flirting with the NXT title scene, but didn't seem like they were really going to push her.
Never really got a chance with the NXT title, huh?
No, I mean she was the second NXT UK Women's Champion, but yeah, she
Mhm.
never really got that slot for the NXT Championship. Same thing could be said for Knox and Shotzi. I mean, they kind of just decided to move them up. So, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's a necessary change when you have the number of releases you have over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Stock up the rosters, add a little, fresh talent. Ideally, there's going to be a draft in the coming months, so that'll
See,
help.
that's
Hopefully,
weird.
it could help. We'll probably be seeing some men move up, but as of right now, not happening. At least for one, Karrion Cross, he successfully retained that NXT Championship against Johnny Gargano. And then, perhaps the biggest story here.
Yep.
Put good old Samoa Joe in that cross jacket submission, leaving him laying. Samoa Joe has to be cleared, right? He has to be cleared.
I'm telling you, the man's been cleared. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. He has to.
I had my doubt.
There's never a doubt.
There was a little doubt.
Samoa Joe wouldn't have come back unless he was getting back in the ring. He's going to wrestle. He has to. The man was provoked. He's gonna have to come back. I think you want to see a draft come in. Samoa Joe's gonna come in. Samoa Joe is gonna put Cross down, take the title, run through everybody that you like, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, poo all over them, and then
hold on.
Cross is gonna go to Raw. And Cole's gonna go to SmackDown. I don't know.
Samoa Joe might already have a first opponent challenger if he wins the NXT title.
Who?
In one Pete Dunne. The last couple of weeks, he had a couple of face-offs. So no words. They just kind of looked at each other. So
what, like on the show, like that's kind of
cross pass. So
that'd be a good match. I think it'd be a good wrestling match. I would think, right?
Absolutely. And going back to this whole Samoa Joe situation, this whole Johnny Gargano storyline has to have been built for Samoa Joe just to come in as a way for him to be written in as Cross's next opponent or something.
Did you honestly ever feel like it was like this is the Johnny Gargano storyline? Like did he never really kind of felt part of it? He did, but not really.
It felt like a last minute thing because Cross is going to main roster soon. That's kind of obvious. So it just kind of felt like
it's kind of early.
Honestly, I don't think they need him in NXT. He just needs to go up. There's no reason for him in NXT.
Yeah, but you got it. Yeah, I mean, he's a fresh talent. I get that. But you're getting a guy, you're taking talent away from NXT, I guess. I mean, you're getting Joe. I guess Finn Balor's still there.
Well, I mean, you talk about some fresh talent. Diamond Mine. They're building up some guys there. Come on, talk about Ravishing Roderick Strong. Beautiful Bobby Fish and Ravishing Roderick they're going against each other now.
What's Bobby's deal? What is he doing? Because he's been the one on the outside looking in the whole time, right?
Diamond Mine issued a challenge. Bobby Fish just showed up and he kind of stepped up to Roderick. Of course, that sneaky Malcolm Bivens said, no, you're not going to get Roderick. You're going to face Tyler Rust, who is, the up-and-comer, a very talented individual. He did go one-on-one with Bobby Fish. Of course, Bobby Fish doing the honors for the younger Tyler Rust.
And Bobby Fish got jobbed out?
I don't think Bobby Fish is going to make it. I just don't know.
Not if he's you can't challenge Roman Reigns and then lose to Jey Uso.
I know.
Or Jimmy. Either one.
He's involved in the storyline. Kushida made the save because they were going to attack him afterward.
Yeah, him and his jeans. I can't take him seriously either.
Why not?
He's out of the jeans. He's out of the jeans now, right? And he gave him the Ricochet. That's right.
He's back in his wrestling gear. Why not?
That's right. He gave him the Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet pulling up. Ricochet's out of those jeans. good for Ricochet and Morrison had a solid false count anywhere match. Those guys.
Yeah, and you know what? And 1.6 million people saw it on Raw, right? They're on Raw.
Higher than the previous week's ratings.
Yeah.
Which I believe got 1.4, which was I believe the lowest in history. You know that Bobby Lashley guy is just bringing the show down.
He went on a rampage and tore down MVP's lounge, but I thought, tear down the freaking the Thunder, not the Thunder, the Thunderdome. What is it called? The Thunderdome, right? Tear it down, like you
9 months.
Do more with that and tear it down. If you got the fans coming back the next week, why not tear it down? Throw Rampage. Anyways, I think there's tension there with him and MVP. I don't think MVP is going to be safe very much longer, but I think Bobby Lashley will only be as relevant as his time is going to be with MVP. I think he needs MVP as his mouthpiece, and if he doesn't, maybe we see Kofi Kingston as our new champion.
We'll talk about all the Money in the Bank results on the next episode. Talk about fans coming back. Of course, Friday Night SmackDown happened. 6-man tag between Edge, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio taking on the Bloodline. Of course, the big fatal 4-way featuring 4 Money in the Bank competitors. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Bianca Belair's SmackDown title defense against Carmella, who replaced Bayley. Of course, we'll talk about all the Money in the Bank matches. The big, is there going to be some surprises? I don't know. We'll talk about it next week. But until next time, I acknowledge Roman Reigns as my tribal chief.
Cameron Grimes.
Absolutely too sweet.